One thing about Connor is that people always have said is that no one, and Josh Bryson said this to me, he went riding with him, I remember, and said that like Connor was just gone. He said there's no one got the corner speed in the World Cup of that dude.
Connor's the type of athlete that he'll show up and whatever you'll put under him, he'll make it work because he's got that kind of work ethic that you'll get it done.
I'll just fuck with my bike until I don't know anymore, whereas he just shuts up and rides, and it's so natural for him, so I feel like he just does what he's got to do, he's just there to ride, so he rides.
Dad was always into motorbikes. He's a big passion. He's motocross and like MotoGP and that kind of stuff. He follows that. And then my mum and dad are both pretty active people and always riding bikes. And just so as long as I can remember, I was riding bikes after school or before school, to school, when I was a kid, just any spare time I had. And my parents just let me do what I want, really. They never were into racing. Or stuff like that. At 9 or so, Dad got me into motocross racing and did that for a couple of years, which I wasn't super successful at. But that, we just went to have fun. It's not like Dad put pressure on me to win or anything. I remember him jumping up and down, stoked the first race that I didn't get overlapped. That's how happy he was, just for just being just my personal best. So my parents were never forcing me into racing or expecting me to win or anything like that. They just, well, you want to go ride or want to go race. So after motocross, stopped that after a couple of years. I just didn't enjoy it anymore, so we stopped racing that and got a pamphlet for the Inside Line 2005 series at Fox Creek. So mum took me there, and yeah, that was started something big, obviously. So that was, from then on, it was just wanted to go race mountain bikes. Yeah, that was pretty much my teenage years, racing all that. But yeah, my parents were just there, supporting me, whatever I wanted to do, never pushing me and give me what I need. I definitely wouldn't be here without their support. Got to the point where I was racing the World Cups and they were, didn't need to drive me around anymore. So they were pretty stoked and could watch me from home on the TV. So really I couldn't have asked for a better support from them, and probably a reason why I still love racing so much and why I love riding. Probably for me it was different than most other people on the World Cup circuit. I don't think I never actually set out. It was never a big goal of mine to race World Cups, and to be honest, I just thought that doesn't happen to normal people. Those people racing World Cups are super famous people. That's just not normal people. So I just kind of didn't think that it would ever happen to me, and I just kept racing because I wanted to, and got the call up with Kona back in the end of 2010, I think, and to race like the 2011 like Cup of World Cups there as a junior. I was really nervous about not qualifying because only 80 people qualify at the World Cup, and like in my head, if you can qualify a World Cup, that's like a huge, that's a big deal. And I qualified like around 40th, I think, and I was pretty stoked because back then there was no junior categories. Like if you were a junior, you just raced in elite and you got a little dot next to your name. Like that's all you got really. So yeah, I didn't think I could qualify, and like when I qualified like 40th, I was like, wow, this is actually pretty good. And like was looking at my times, like not far off people I see on the internet, like pros and stuff. And that was probably when I actually believed like maybe I can do something, because like I just like had some goals after that, and I was like, this is pretty cool. Like, I didn't think I could do that, and made it this far, so see what happens.
Connor sitting on the second hot seat.
I don't know, for me it was just like believing that I could, and like I'm as fast as these guys. Like I never really think that I am, like I just think that those guys are like gnarly racers. They're like kind of a bit different to me, but I don't know, just once you do that, then in your head you should be there. I think that's the biggest thing. So like in qualifying, and say if I like qualified badly, mentally I'm like, I shouldn't be in this spot, I should be better. And you just figure it out how to make up the gap. So I think like where you think you should be, like that's where you're going to end up in the field. And that's probably why the guys winning are always winning, because they're fully just like, that's where I should be. And I think on that front, that's probably where they have a bit more on me. Like for that, like for racing, I'm just stoked being out there and still do my best, but I just don't think I have that same thought capacity that those dudes that are just win or lose kind of operators. Like I'm happy to get a top 10 and I'm just stoked, like I did my best run, but some people, unless they win, they're like not happy with it.
There is just a very chill, relaxed vibe at Kona, whether it's, the marketing team, the riders, the team manager, very down to earth, and like a small enough company that everyone is able to kind of communicate, and definitely a tight knit group at the races. And
Kona is a huge part of my success in both like EWS and World Cup, and I don't know, it's just a good match. Like I like riding bikes, and Kona like making bikes that people like to ride. So like over the years, I've had a lot of good offers from other teams, and I feel like if I did switch, I probably wouldn't be racing still.
Well, number ones and the publicity is very important, but the safety of everyone is more important.
I don't know, like I obviously made a lot of friends at Kona and love going and hanging out with them. So yeah, like it's just something that really works, and that's why it's been going for so long, and hopefully goes for a lot longer. Yeah, I don't know. Like, obviously, like I'm more than happy to hang out with the like kids who think I'm cool. But like for me, I'm literally exactly the same as them. Like, I didn't see any difference. Like, I remember when I was a kid and went to my first national champs and I saw Jared Graves and I was like losing it. But now that I'm kind of like at that level, like I realise, well, there's actually no difference. I'm just still a kid that likes to ride. Like if they're stoked, like hanging out with me and getting photos, like I'm happy to do that and stoke them out, because I remember being that kid and definitely would have made my day back then. So if I can inspire those guys to be better riders or just better people, then that's just added bonus. And yeah, like obviously like every kid I meet, and like I was one of you guys once, so keep going with it, then yeah, you never know where you end up. Last year when I ended up having a lot more time on my hands without all the travel. I spent some time with the Lighthouse crew in the last years, but last year I was able to commit some time and really like volunteer and help out with some of the groups they got coming through the project, which is pretty much just helping young kids and youths who may not have had the chance to ride bikes for whatever reasons, get out and have fun on bikes and try and teach them some lessons through like the engagement of riding bikes and showing them how fun it is. So it's been really more of a blessing for me to be able to do that, because it's just the old saying, like, I learn more off the kids as what they can learn off me. But it's been awesome, so I've just been thankful of my time that I've been able to have with Lighthouse, and riding bikes with a bunch of cool people is always fun.
Having Connor volunteer and Shelley's actually working with us now, it's amazing, like, for those people to ride at that level and want to be involved in what we're doing. It goes far beyond what Ryan and I started, and I think that's what we always wanted. It's like, hey, it's not about us, it's about everyone else, or the kids that you saw today.
Connor really enjoys it. I think it's good for him to kind of break up his training routine, his racing routine, and actually hang out with and ride with kids who are not as fortunate as what he has been through his upbringing. And it kind of a bit of an eye-opener for him to see how some of these kids and youth actually live and what challenges they have going on in their lives.
It's so crazy, like, he called me about this interview, and I've just talked to him like a normal friend, and it sounds really funny to say that, but I guess he just talks now to me, you know. And I think when I first met him, he was this really quiet guy that kills on a bike, but his bike did, you know, his riding did the talking. But I've seen him grow in this working and volunteering with. I've seen him grow. I mean, we all know he's a unit on the bike, but I think I've just seen him, the way he interacts, and I think he now sees, so he's here on the World Cup, and then the kids that you saw today are just getting started, and he's on their level. And I think that's, yeah, he's just a great human too, and I think it's a joy to work alongside him, and yeah, hopefully he continues to be involved with what we're doing, and yeah, love him.
There was a sponsor in the past couple of years who had told me he's not the type to go forward and to a group of kids and stuff like that. And I'm looking at him and I go, him and Shelley go do that lighthouse thing with all those kids. And Connor is the type of person to help the little old lady to cross the street and make sure she's okay, and probably give her bus fare to go home as well. But he's not going to go online and tell everybody about it.
Like those couple of years, I was like constantly top 10s, like a few podiums here and there, and like, yeah, I was really, like, I know people go through like waves in their career of like going faster and then like slowing back, but there's not the same riders now that they were back then. Like every year it's getting harder and harder, and everyone says that.
Certain people, the pressure helps them to push themselves that extra step. Connor, on the other hand, has put way more pressure on himself than I've ever put on him. And we had to have a talk about that, because a couple of years ago, he was either qualifying top 3 or crashing. Now, on the safety side of things, I am not at all interested to going to the hospital every 2 weeks. I prefer him coming top 10 and safe than him trying to be number 1 and we wind up being at a hospital.
After that, I just was a bit going through like a couple of injuries and never really like found my groove. But I aren't going slower. I'm not training any less or want to like get the results any less. Just kind of like lost momentum a bit with a couple injuries and stuff like that. Had a few like good results like the last few years, and but just never wasn't constantly like able to put the results down like I was like 2016, 17 and 18. But yeah, I don't put that down to being slower or less wanting to get the results, just a few like things that snowballed and injuries and that kind of stuff, which has just held me back. But this year I'm looking forward to it and expecting to be back there where I was a couple of years ago.
as his comfort goes, he will be number one when he falls into that comfort zone as it goes. Some other people you need to pick and push, but he pushes himself and he puts way more pressure than he makes it seem on himself to perform.
Connor just has this insane ability to like you said, not change anything. Like, you know, like he'll run same tire, like same setting, same tire pressure. He'll just go faster. And I'm just like, fuck, I don't know if I can do that. And so there's like a part of me that is like, Connor, like, come on, like try and clip in, you know, like I'm Valdesol or something, you know, like, and just see if you can like podium. I just like, yeah, I respect the way that he just sticks to his guns and he's like, no, this is me, you know? I think that if he really wants it, he can be right at the top, you know?
Without a doubt, is the sign of a great rider. Like, I think you've got to be a level up to be able to ride flat pedals at that sort of level of World Cup racing and make it happen. Don't clip in, mate. Don't do it. Don't sell your soul to the devil.
was going to be like a really good year. I think we had Rotorua and national champs, and I was feeling really good on the downhill bike. But yeah, obviously like big COVID came around, and for me it turned out to be a really good year for different reasons. Like stayed home and did a lot of video projects and raced whole local series, and just hung out with a lot of the people at home, which usually you kind of like fly home, you're in the plane and overseas and way more than you are at home. So for the last 10 years, that's been my life. And last year I got to, make new friends and chill with all the people at home and just like get to know the whole scene again. Because since 2010, you kind of like feel like a bit of an outsider.
Coming into that season that he would have raced, he was so fit and he was in really good form. So I think maybe he was a bit disappointed not to be able to show what he could have done that year. But then again, having that downtime, he hasn't had that kind of for years. His long service leave.
I actually think South Australia had probably the most races out of any like place or country in the whole world last year. Like we had full enduro season, a full downhill season, and I spent the whole year just riding my process and downhill bike occasionally. And at the moment, I feel like crazy good in the process. Like just feel like it's part of my body when I ride it. So that's all thanks to last year, just spending a lot of time with it. But going forward, I do probably focus a bit more on the enduro stuff, just because love riding the process, and it's what I ride 95% of the time at home, and that's what I'm comfortable on. And I feel like racing the EWS going forward I think I can achieve a bit more on that than on the World Cup. But I think we'll do as much of both as we can and see what happens.